888-957-9570 is the number. We're talking about the Warriors, and what would your highest priority be for the Golden State Warriors? What's the biggest issue that you're going to address?
Spadoni's was Klay Thompson.
Yeah, see,
not to me, because even if you bring Klay, and I love you, Spadoni, if you bring Klay back, I don't know if that still that's a feelings type of, he could still shoot, right. But as far as the moves to get you back into what that caller's talking about, Steiny, that ain't enough.
No.
And that's nothing, no shade at Klay.
I think there's two things with Klay. As it relates just to a basketball decision, it's not the biggest deal in the world. However, it's Klay Thompson.
Yeah, no doubt.
So it's impossible to view this right. without an emotional component. Right. Without an emotional component. And do the Warriors do that? Can the Warriors do that? And would that impact their decision-making? But if you ran the Warriors or you were Joe Lacob, what's the one priority you would have regarding this team and what you would do and who you would use to do it? 888-957-9570. Let's go to Mike. Mike is in Oakland. What's up, Mike? How you doing, man?
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I'm great. With me, it's development, Steiny and Guru. I would like to see, like, Pajinski needs to work on his dribbling and his three-point shot. Kuminga needs to work on his dribbling. Trace Jackson needs a mid-range. So I would have these guys in classes right now being trained to work on where they're weak. Wherever you're weak at, that's where you got to develop what you have. Because you're not going to get a lot this year. You're not going to get a lot. So you might as well kind of run it back, but make the players that you have better by working on their weaknesses. And make sure that Steph Curry does not carry the ball down, because he's not good when he has the ball. You put the ball in somebody else's hand, you dish it to Steph, and Steph knocks it down. The team is good like it is, man. If you think about it, all the games they lost last year by last seconds, and then not having Draymond, those are a lot of games. You're talking about possibly 10 games extra, which puts them in a higher spot.
All right.
Power off, they just had a play-in game. That's my opinion.
All right.
Thanks, fellas.
Then you're not alone. I think there's a lot of sentiment there of we're closer than a lot of people think.
Yeah.
Brian Geltzeiler, Sirius XM Radio, he is absolutely still bullish. Bullish is the good one. Bear is the bad one, right? He's still bullish on the Warriors. That's the good one.
Listen, you have risk as it is. You turn around and pony up some of your young players for vets that you think have star power and can carry you to win in the playoffs. You already have guys that can win in the playoffs. What you need are guys to get you to the playoffs and be in an advantageous situation. And I do think, when you look at Kuminga and Pajemski in particular, I think both of these kids are not, they both can get better next year. They're not going to be the same players next year. They're both hardworking kids. They both improved. Kuminga's got a crap ton of confidence. And I love that about him. I really do. I think in some ways you have to be patient. Do you want to tweak things around the margins a little bit? You want to tell me you can use CP3's contract and a future first to bring in an extra rotation guy, an extra salaried guy that'll help you, maybe a little more size? I wouldn't argue with that. You want to tell me use CP3's contract to bring in a guy like Clint Capella and give you a little bit of a different dimension inside with a veteran player? No argument.
Right.
But it cannot cost you, any of your four young guys right now, including Moses Moody.
Wow.
Ding, 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 ding,
yeah.
ding, ding, ding.
You're ringing the bell.
I'm with that. And the thing he said to me that resonated is you don't need a guy like Durant for the postseason. You need young guys who can get you to the 5th seed in the regular season without wearing down the big three. And that's where the young guys, I completely agree with that.
And can we admit what Curry wore down? We can admit that.
Yeah,
he did.
Struggled in the second half.
No doubt.
He did.
So is that on, if the young players take another step, maybe it's easier for him?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if all those four guys,
it's four.
To me, the way I look at it, it's goofy, but can the four young guys get better then the 3 old guys decline.
I'm not mad at that.
Because if they do, then you might be better. So this is from the 408. I think he said Clay is a priority in terms of figuring out if he's staying or going. Yeah, I mean, Clay, it's going to be.
This is crazy, man.
If he leaves, emotional.
No, what a word.
I mean, it is. It's going to be.
No matter what they do, I'm sorry to interrupt. This will be the big, just because of who he is and what he's meant, this will be the biggest move of the offseason.
Yeah. Well,
just because now the Warriors would take the floor. Exactly. In November, you're right. In November, where one of the big 3 is gone.
By the way, our good friend R.C. Davis, who works for the Warriors, we were talking about this a little while ago.
I told him you said you didn't like his PG skills, his point guard skills.
He knows that. I've told him that already. I can't stand his game. Yeah. He said, not for nothing, but just don't forget, Tony Parker. He retired in Charlotte.
No, oh my
God. He played in Charlotte.
I can't even. Wow. Remember that? I didn't. Damn.
I keep hearing too statues. There's going to be only one statue outside Chase. It's going to be Steph. You can't have 3 or 4 statues. There's only one. It's Steph. And then on the inside of the building, you obviously retire the other guys.
Oh, wow.
Number.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I think. That's what I would do.
Would Durant get one? He wouldn't get one for me because he left.
I don't know. I don't know what you do with Durant. But there's something, if you had statues, I don't know, it just came up, so I'm talking about it.
They need to start building it now.
If you had 3 statues out front of Draymond, Steph, and Clay, I kind of wouldn't like it if they were all the same size.
Well,
I really wouldn't.
You going Allen Iverson on me because his was very tiny.
Yeah, no, I just mean, I think Curry deserves a little more.
Pippen wasn't out there with Mike.
Exactly.
I hear you.
So,
Pippen was top 50 player.
Could they do something where Steph's statue is, 15 feet and the other 2 guys are 10, and he's in the middle?
Well, there's just one outside, though. Well, Curry's got to be by himself to me.
That's what I think,
and then inside is what you're talking about.
Well, no, what I'm saying is
Iguodala will have one then. Looney, too.
God, no chance. Please. There isn't enough masonry for all these guys.
Dude,
that might have been
you ain't into the loyalty thing at all.
Not even a little. It's
inside, Steiny, they have to be recognized. Those guys, NBA Finals MVP, Looney gave you everything. I wouldn't scoff at that. Now,
but we're talking statues. Statues.
Well, for being real, the only statue is the one that's outside, right? Rocky's outside.
Yeah.
Jordan's outside.
Exactly. And the ones in L.A. are outside.
Now, what about Boston? I see Bird's tennis shoes.
There's not a statue of Bird.
They're dropping. He didn't come back and say hello to Tatum and Brown. Maybe that's it. How does he not have one?
Because they don't do that in Boston. Bill Russell doesn't have one.
Oh, my gosh, that's a fail. I'm going to see the Celtic game.
Okay.
Where's the Bird statue? Oh, we don't have one.
You don't go to the Celtics game to see a statue.
No, but you want to. Oh, my gosh.
There's
Kobe and Shaq have one.
There's a Larry Bird statue at Indiana State.
Well, I ain't talking. No, I'm talking about the Garden or the TJ, whatever they call it now.
Uncle Looney.
He's been on one today.
Guru's handing out statues like Oprah.
Oh boy, I'm gonna give you a 3.
Oh man,
yeah,
that's pretty funny. Let's go out to City Boy.
Ask him what he's having for lunch.
Okay, City Boy, how you doing, man?
What up, fellas? Oh, I'm good. Just working. How about y'all?
Same.
Just enjoying the day.
There you go.
Beautiful. And I don't eat lunch, Goose. You gotta.
There you go.
As you get a little older, you gotta dial the intake back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, this Dubs off season is intriguing, and I think really the hardest thing the Warriors have to deal with is Clay, because if they re-sign Clay, to me, not only does it hamstring them financially, it hamstrings them in a lot of ways, but it also kind of signifies that they're happy riding this thing out, and they want the big three to retire Warriors and probably not win another chip, unless Kuminga evolves into Anthony Edwards. I mean, I suppose,
right?
But, I mean, at the end of the day, I think you have to keep Kuminga no matter what. Ride it out with him at all costs, and really develop him. And I hate to say, I hope they let Clay go. I freaking love Clay.
I know.
I mean, he's just, but I do. If I want my team to be better sooner, you just can't re-sign him. But I have a feeling that Steph has already made it clear. He wants Clay here. The interesting thing is Steve signed that 2-year deal because it lines up with Steph, and there's a little bit of weirdness going on there as far as did they have a conversation and say, look, 2 more years together, and then that might be it. So but I think we keep Kuminga. His potential is just too great for what you would get in return. I don't want any old sort of star to come over here and give up on a guy like Kuminga. I mean, if you tell me we're getting Giannis, okay. Right. I mean, I'd listen to that, obviously.
Sure.
But outside of that, forget about it. And, we've had such a good run. And by the way, does anybody care that Tim Duncan was basically a role player when he got his 5th chip? It's still a 5th chip. So exactly. I think if the Warriors could pull one off in 2 or 3 years, Matt, you kind of alluded to this earlier, let's get better. And maybe Steph wins one in sort of that Tony Parker role when Parker won his last. Hey. Anyway.
Appreciate it.
Take it easy, man.
Appreciate it, City Boy.
Tim Duncan, also a number 1 pick, right? Yep.
You know what I was thinking? And I'm serious here on this one. I'm not trolling. But if I'm Steph Curry, and I am serious here.
I'm all ears.
If I'm Steph Curry, and I'm starting to sense that they're going to let Clay walk, I'm sorry. I'm saying you cannot leave me here with just Draymond. Like
even if you were an advocate for that 4-100, if we don't know.
No, I'm talking about.
I hear you.
You can't take Clay from me.
Wow.
And I need Clay as a buffer.
But you kind of did that when you benched him. I know he was still there.
No, this is more of a dynamic.
Yeah, man.
This is more of a dynamic. It's got nothing to do with.
What about when Clay was gone away for 2 years as far as on the court? I think that buffer was also gone.
Yeah.
And I would say they they were okay.
Yeah, I just.
I hope he don't leave, Steiny, but part of me almost wants him to get a fresh start.
I mean, I think City Boy asked a good question of Warrior fans, and it was if the Warriors let Clay walk, what does it mean? And then if you hear the news that the Golden State Warriors have re-signed Klay Thompson for 2 or 3 years at $20+ million, what would that tell you?
If he walks, Joe Lacob's a killer that I've been hearing about. Because that's what it would take, Steiny. That would be my first, he's a killer. It was business first over feelings.
Yeah, I think.
Is that fair?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what category it would fall under, Steiny.
Yeah, I was looking at it from the other way, where if he re-signs Clay.
It's FOE, family over everything.
Well, then it's also, that's I guess that would be considered running it back. And that's what I don't want to do. I mean, I guess you could re-sign Clay and trade Draymond and Wiggins, and that the team would be different then. But
So I got a question for you guys. You re-sign Clay.
Okay.
You bring in KD and you give up Kuminga and some other resources. Wouldn't you want Clay there to duplicate or replicate what you guys did with the Big Four? Like, I think you bringing in Durant and losing Clay in that shooting or that threat, it kind of minimizes getting Durant in a crazy way. Like, I want Clay to be here if you go get a big boy, and now the Splash Brothers, that threat's still there as a whole, and now you got it. Man, that's just me. And I love Kuminga. I got to say that, but I'm not waiting, man.
Can I need you to be clear on something.
Okay.
So you're telling me, and this is for Warrior fans too, if the Warriors trot out next year Steph, Clay, Durant, Draymond Green, and Trace Jackson Davis.
My gosh.
But they have no Kuminga. Obviously, Wiggins is off the team. And I don't know, a couple of the other guys are off the team. You really think that team has championship action?
And Evan, you can I swear to God, I do.
I don't.
And I would sleep good at night trotting that out there, thinking I had a better chance than running it back. And Moody steps up. We still got
we might not have Moody.
Gary Payton. Okay. Whoever we like
that's the thing. Whoever. So I
think they deserve that.
So
that's all, man.
You're gonna run out 4 old guys with no bench because your bench is going to be depleted. And even if you get some good guys, I want to know, Warrior fans, if you trot out next year, and I know it's a long shot, Steph, Clay, Durant, Draymond, and Trace Jackson Davis, or even Looney. Yeah. Let's say Trace Jackson Davis had to go. So it's Looney. You still doing it?
Yeah. And now we're getting to Klay Thompson upstairs. I just got my deal. I'm still in love. They love me. We haven't even talked about that. He's always talked about the darkness, his future. Now he's coming out. I got a deal. I'm here. I think they've earned that. That's all. Guru would be bankrupt. No, that's loyalty.
I don't think that's a championship team. Not now. Not after what I've been watching.
Already are telling me if they run it back. I know there's other things that give you hope, but you're saying that probably ain't a championship team either. So I guess
but I'm not going to decimate my team. In the meantime, I'm with the 925. If that's the starting, they get run off the court.
Oh, guys.
888-957-9570 is the number. Steph, Clay, Durant, Draymond, and Looney. And you think is that championship action if you're a Golden State Warrior fan?
5 is better than Kevin Durant's 5 in Phoenix in the regular season. They made it through without a bench.
Okay.
Now you're playing the Warrior way, and you got Curry and Clay and Dre. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, believe it or not,
I get excited.
I'm out on that. What about you, Warrior fans? Is that something that you'd be interested in? 888-957-9570.